Just like it's important to know the right advice when you get ready to sell your home, it's equally as important to recognize bad home selling advice. So let's talk about the worst home selling advice ever. My name is Andrew Finney, and my passion is helping you make sense of real estate. If you need help finding a top agent near you, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, my contact info is below. If you're new here, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. Thank you. All right, my friend, let's take a close look at the worst home selling advice ever so that you can recognize it when you hear it. The first one are people thinking that a for sale by owner process is easy, painless, and is going to save a lot of money. And let me be real here. Look, do you have to have a real estate agent to sell your house? Absolutely not. Will you normally get more money? It is statistically proven that you will, even after the real estate commissions are involved. When you're thinking about a for sale by owner process, normally a big lure to that is thinking, hey, I can save on the real estate commissions. But here's the thing. A lot of buyers are still going to be represented by a buyer agent. And a savvy home buyer or perhaps a savvy investor is going to say, hey, since you're not paying real estate commissions, you need to drop your price below what fair market value is because you're not paying the commissions. Is it really saving you any money at the end of the day? Every year, the National Association of Realtors compiles a report in their research and studies for each year. It normally comes out around March, April of the following year of the statistical calculations of the average sales in the United States and how it broke down for all kinds of different demographics. One of them being for sale by owners. Unfortunately, for sale by owners normally only stand like an 8% chance of success, and when they do succeed, they're generally losing 20% of what they could have sold their home for had they listed with a professional trusted real estate advisor. I mean, I completely get the for sale by owner mentality. Who doesn't want to try to save some money? But at the end of the day, it actually costs more money. These are the statistics, these are the numbers, and we know the numbers don't lie. The second thing is that Zillow's estimates and online estimates are the best way to value your home. I'm sorry, that's simply just not the case. When we're talking about Zillow's estimates or Zillow at large, look, is it a good place to begin a home search? Yes. Is it a good place to get information and gain insight into different areas of real estate? Absolutely. It's a great site for that. As is realestate.com, as is Trulia, as is Redfin, and perhaps best of all, as is your real estate agent's website that has videos or blog posts as well. So that being said, when it comes down to the valuation of your home, how are these companies doing it across the entire United States? Well, they're designing these really fancy algorithms that are basing it off of certain stats that they're seeing and observing in the market. Generally, it's like a machine learning process that's built into this algorithm to try to improve it and keep their margin of error fairly low. But Zillow self-reports and publishes how accurate they are or not based upon each locale that they service across the United States. In many cases, it could range as wildly as 7% to 15% valuation being incorrect. Well, that's a huge margin. And when we're looking at online estimates at large, how are they doing it? Well, they also have designed their own algorithm that they believe is going to help give you a good valuation for your property. But again, that's not the case. What is the best case and what is the best way to get the best value and know your exact value on your home? By contacting your trusted real estate advisor and asking them to perform what's called a comparative market analysis. Or you can call out an appraiser and see what they value your house for. Either way, both of those sources are going to be far more accurate than Zillow's estimates and online estimates. The third tall tale is only to sell your home in the spring and summer. Okay, I mean, this is like conventional wisdom, and I want you to think a little bit of strategy right here, right? When we're realistically thinking about the best time to sell a home, why do so many people believe that it is the spring and the summer? Well, that's because the flowers are blooming, the snow is melting, everything is getting warmer, everybody's coming out of the woodworks, and you see so many listings go on the market, you see so many buyers out there trying to snap up those homes. Well, what have we actually increased in the process? The word is competition. We've increased supply and we've increased competition in the market, not only between buyers, but also between sellers. That's why the counterintuitive wisdom of going on the market in the fall and the winter can actually be an extremely good time because there's fewer homes that are going onto the market during that period of time, and the buyers in the market generally want to get in before the holidays. So it's something to think about, and it's something to consider to chat it over with your trusted real estate advisor. Ultimately, the best time to put your home on the market is when you're ready and when you're comfortable with moving forward with the listing process. That is always the best time to list. The fourth worst advice is don't make improvements to your home. The buyers are just going to change it anyways. While that may certainly be true that the buyers will be making some corrections and changes of their own, there are certainly some improvements that you can make to your property before going on the market that are going to boost your sellability and boost the value of your home. If you know the exterior of your home should be painted, get it painted. If you know that you have a color palette in your house that's like a jewel tone purple, or perhaps a fluorescent green that would look a lot like, hey, you know, a green screen shooting a video, right? Those colors don't resonate with a lot of people out there. So would it be worth the money to paint it? The answer is yes. Is that a small improvement that you can make a change? Sure. And it's one of those things that are going to make a big difference on the sellability and the valuation of your property, because let's face it, those two are directly correlated. The more sellable your home is because it resonates with more buyers out there, the higher the value that you're going to get for your home as you attract buyers to your home. The lower the sellability means that you're going to have to start chasing the market backwards to find the sellable price given the buyers in the market at the time that you list. So let's consider this carefully and make sure that you chat it over with your trusted real estate advisor you choose to work with to see if there's any small embellishments, any small upgrades that you should be doing to your home before going on the market. Notice the emphasis on the word small. I'm not saying that you need to do a full gut or full on renovation of the kitchen or bathroom or anything. Keep it small, keep it practical, and be wise with the investment of your money. The fifth worst deceitful thing out there is that all real estate agents are the same and do the same thing. That could not be further from the truth. And I want to share with you why. I want you to consider right now, when you go into your office, are there employees, are there people that you work with or around that are better at their job than others? The answer is yes. I mean, nobody's ever the same. You got people with different talents, different skills, right? So is true of the real estate business. So is true of real estate agents. And look, whenever I'm saying trusted real estate advisor, some people have asked me about that and say, hey, Andrew, what does that exactly mean when you say that? I'm referring to the agents that really care about you and doing a really good job for you. And they're not focused on the outcome earning the commission. So in other words, they don't have like a commission breath. And we all know what that's like, whether it's a sales professional or whether it's somebody at your office is like, hey, I need to go ask the boss for a raise. Hey, I never have enough money, so I'm going to go have to ask for more. Hey, I want to do less work, but I want more money here, right? That's a nasty, putrid, halitosis smelling breath. So when you're thinking about why it's such a lie that all real estate agents are created equally, it's because it is. It's a bull-faced lie. We all have different skills. We all have different talents. We all have a different proclivity to want to inspire and aspire to be the best that we can. And when you have that professional that wants to be the very best they can, are you happy with the services that are rendered by that person? More than likely the answer to that question is yes. But by simply taking a step back and evaluating this, we know and we can see the fallacy of all real estate agents being created equal is a lie. We can hold it to be self-evident when you just go into your job today or you go out shopping today and you notice a really good person compared to the rest of the people that are there. Which one would you rather work with? Choice is yours. The sixth myth is that open houses are absolutely necessary to selling your home. Again, couldn't be further from the truth. Now, it is true that in some areas of the United States, open houses work and they work quite well. But it's also extremely true in most areas of the United States that they don't work so well. And the only people that normally go by those open houses are who? The nosy neighbors, looky-loos, people that are planning on buying a house maybe 2 to 3 years in the future, but not now. Yet you're opening up your personal space to the public to come in and check you out. And yet none of them may be the one that's going to buy it. In fact, statistically, the open house has 3% success odds according to the National Association of Realtors research and study on open houses. So it's important to note that, and it's important to be practical about it. Far better they have the right online exposure, far better they have a strong marketing plan of action, far better they have the agent that knows how to get the job done for you. The seventh one, and perhaps this is the absolute worst one in this list, is that the listing agent must be present to accompany the buyer and the buyer's agent at all showings. Let me share a true story with you. I was representing this really wonderful family to purchase their new home. They were looking at homes around the $700,000 price point. We went to attend a showing appointment and the listing agents, hey, I have to go over there to unlock the door for you because we don't have a lockbox in the house. I said, okay, cool. After you do that, if you'd be so kind, hey, just let us take a look. If we have any questions, we'll circle back to you. The agent said, hell, okay, we can do that. But here's the thing. We rolled up and immediately they come flaunting out and they're thinking, hey, hi, I'm so-and-so with XYZ Realty. Welcome to this house. And I was like, okay, that was a little crazy. It's not even your client and you're kind of freaking everybody out already. But I was like, okay, let's just go ahead and get into this house so that we can see if my client has any questions about it and help them and see if this is the right place for them to call home. So they unlocked the door and immediately before we could even take a step across the threshold, they start saying, oh, by the way, this is a highly upgraded door. It costs $7,000. It's made of iron. It has a special glass in it. And I said politely to the agent, I said, thank you for the information. If you'd be so kind, please let us look through the house. We will circle back with you for any questions we may have that are left unanswered. So the agent said, okay, sure. And they finally let us into the foyer of the house, at which time they turned back around again and said, and you'll notice the beautiful crown molding up on the ceiling. I was like, come on, guy. I mean, we're trying to see this house, and my client and I are both like looking at each other like, what's up with this guy? So again, I share with the listing agent, hey, you know, if you'd be so kind, we would like to take a look at the house in private, and we will circle back with you should we have any questions. And the agent said, okay, sure. So then they proceed to say, if you'll follow me. So you get the idea here. Long story short, did my client buy that house? No. No, they didn't. Were they freaked out by the agent? Yes. Yes, they were. Were they happy with the experience of viewing that house? No. So when you look at it from a seller's point of view, was that good seller representation by making sure that your listing agent was in the house at that time? Absolutely not. So that's why it's best to always, number one, as a seller, vacate the house whenever you are selling a house. That's number one. Number two, your listing agent does not need to be present for the showings because it can actually throw off and derail the process, and the buyer will not feel comfortable enough to have those conversations that he or she or they need to have with their buyer agent. Let them be at peace. Let them explore. Let them figure out if it's the right home. There's a very interesting observation that I've made when I've listed properties for families here in Las Vegas, Nevada. The longer a buyer agent and buyer are inside of a home, the more likely and the better the offer that buyer is willing to make and write that day or within 24 hours. So we want them to be inside the house. We want them to visualize themselves living there because we want them to write the offer on your home. That's why we put it on the market, right? So let's be honest about this and make sure your listing agent isn't present at the showing. The only caveat to this rule is obviously if you have an extremely expensive home and you have really expensive stuff inside your home that cannot be removed prior to listing, that's a situation where it would make sense for the listing agent to be present to ensure everything is okay. But should that agent be intruding and interfering with the buyer agent and the buyer in any way? Absolutely not. And make that clearer than baccarat crystal to the listing agent that you choose. Now that we know some of the worst home selling lies out there that people actually believe, let's take a closer look at the 20 questions you want to ask when hiring a listing agent and the 8 steps to get your house sold. Looking forward to our next conversation. We'll see you in a few.